Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the October 19th, 2021 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. It is 7 p.m. All three selectmen are present. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I'll make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from October 5th, 2021.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on these minutes?
Yeah, two changes. There's a name where it says 108 Fabian Road under citizens' comments. It says Jonathan Grant. It's actually Wayne O'Brien.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, but I didn't think.
And you've got that also on the next, on the last page where it says Jonathan Grant as well. Wayne O'Brien.
Thank you.
And under 9, appointment. Is that date 11/15/2015? 2013, is that 15 or 13? Something doesn't look right there.
Where are you looking, Suzanne?
Oh,
9.
there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 2013. 11/15, it should
Is
have
it
been.
15 or 13? I can't make it out.
No, it says 13,
13?
but it should have been
What, 23?
2023, I would think.
That's what I was.
I can double check that for you though, Dottie. Okay. All right, any other?
I didn't see anything.
Nope.
I mean,
Okay, all in favor of accepting the minutes of the meeting with the changes as noted, say aye.
All right.
Aye, and opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Oh, we need a new one. All right. Correspondence. The report from Emergency Services and Public Protection and Business After Hours. Is there any other correspondence that
I
either
did
of you
not
have
have anything.
received? Okay. All right. We'll move on to Selectmen comments. Agenda item 4. Selectmen comments.
I don't.
I think did not have
I
any
don't have
comment.
anything today.
I'll just make one comment.
Yeah.
Sox are winning
Oh,
2 games
yeah.
to 1. Looks like they're headed for the World Series. Hope they're playing tonight. And the land is doing the same thing with LA. So for me, it's great because my son lives down in Georgia and be able to, maybe get a chance to see a game down there because he's an avid Red Sox fan. But yeah, hey,
That'd be
it's
neat.
great to be a New England Red Sox fan right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so coming up, we have the Halloween laser light show that the Thompson Recreation is hosting October 28th at 5:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. Registration is required. Go to the Thompson Recreation site to register. Also, Trunk or Treat is coming up, being held at Thompson Speedway. That's a collaborative effort with the fire departments, 4 to 6 p.m.
That's right.
On Halloween.
Halloween.
October 31st. Yep, that's Sunday. As far as Public Works, the aprons are being completed on Quadic Road. The line company for painting lines came through today and completed, I have to look because there was quite a few. Completed Quadic Road, the painting of the lines on Quadic Road, West Thompson Road, freshly painted on West Thompson Road, Church Street, Quadic Road, East Thompson Road, Sandam Road, Wilsonville Road, Watson Road, part of Fabian Road, and Fabian Woodstock Road. So that came through late this afternoon. Bob Holdsworth has been contracted by Putnam EMS. He's starting his analysis to guide us through towards a transition to some type of permanent ambulance solution or ambulance service solution. I met with virtually with Centerville Bank today. It was a stakeholders meeting with, they brought their engineers, representatives from Connecticut Deep, RH White Construction, and their attorney to discuss the North Grosvenor Pond Dam. They are moving forward towards a solution, and they'll be moving forward with some permitting the permitting process. Their intention is to reduce the hazards of the dam with a long-term solution. It does include a partial breach of the dam in order to control the sediment release and sediment migration. They're also looking to greatly reduce the risk that the dam poses as it sits now. What they've proposed in which Connecticut Deep has approved is what's called a ramp. So it's basically the removal of the top portion of the spillway and then a gradual ramp descending down, which will help fortify the dam. What will occur, and this was my biggest concern, is how will the pond be altered? The perimeter of the pond will shrink down slightly. It will become shallower and narrower, but still be a pond. I've been assured by the engineer that revegetation is rapid, and they are going to be providing me with before and after photos of other dams that they've done similar processes with, because obviously we want to maintain the beauty of that dam in that area. So Deep is in favor of this process, and I'm just honestly just happy that Centerville Bank is actually doing something to secure this dam. So in that respect, it's good news. And the fact that they're not entirely removing the dam is even better because it will maintain the aesthetic of that location. And that's pretty much what I have tonight. Oh, I do have to add to other business tonight. With your approval, I'd like to make a motion to add, we have a local individual who has achieved his Eagle Scout Award, and I want to recognize him tonight. His name is Shane. I'm going to mess up his name. Shane Yurkovicius. He's achieved the Eagle Scout Award, and I think it would be appropriate for us to recognize him tonight. He will be awarded the Eagle Scout Award on November 6th. So I put together a proclamation to recognize him tonight. So if I can make a motion to add that to other business.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this addition? All in favor of adding the proclamation to honor Shane Yurkovicius, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we will add that to other business. All right, if there's no other selectmen comments, we will move to citizen comments at this time. Citizen comments are open both virtually and here at the Cine Room. If you want to speak virtually, just unmute yourself, state your name and address. You can also type a comment in the chat box. And if you are in the live audience, just to remind you, you have to come up to the echo canceling microphone so that the virtual audience can hear you. So the floor is open for citizen comments. All right, hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 6, Board of Selectmen 2022 meeting schedule, discussion and possible action. Marie had put this together, being diligent. I'm just wondering if is it the right time to do the schedule with the election coming up and not knowing who will be in these seats? Or should we move forward with that? I mean, I think it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard, but if you want to wait till the next, after November 2nd, that's fine too, because we got plenty of time.
When does it have to be submitted? Is it before the end of December?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your preference?
I don't think it matters either way. We can either vote on it tonight because it can always be
It
changed.
could always be changed.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
And it's pretty standard.
I didn't have a problem with any of the dates.
I would just get it out of the way.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we accept the 2022 meeting schedule as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this meeting schedule? Hearing none, all in favor of the meeting schedule as presented, say aye. Aye. Okay, opposed, nobody's opposed. That motion passes. All right. Agenda item 7, Emergency management resolution, discussion and possible action, and Steve is here. Is this just a standard?
That's the same one we do every year,
Okay,
but apply for the grant.
okay,
I asked for 3 copies, Pam,
okay.
she does, they lose one every year.
They do. That is true.
All right, so the resolution states, be it resolved by the Board of Selectmen of the Town of Thompson that Amy St. Ange, first selectman of the Town of Thompson, may enter into and deliver to the State of Connecticut Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security any and all documents which it deems to be necessary or appropriate. Be it further resolved that Amy St. Ange's first selectman of the Town of Thompson is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents on behalf of the Town of Thompson and to do and perform all acts and things which she deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents. That makes sense.
Make that motion with the minimum of 3 copies for Steve.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this agenda item? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of adopting this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the motion passes. All right. Fiscal year end budget transfers. This is agenda item 8. They just came into us at 4:30. I did not have time to review them. And Orla is not in
I
the
didn't either.
audience. I think I wish Orla was here. Some of them are relatively straightforward.
I did look it over and I did speak with her. And I did get one clarification that I had asked was about the boiler repairs. Because it just says building repair and maintenance, and that was for the library,
Oh, for the library.
Yeah. based on the age of the system there and the hard water that we have. Having leaks is not surprising.
What is your thoughts, Suzanne?
I don't like the fact that this came in at 4:30. I didn't even get to print it out, so walking in is basically the first time I've seen it.
Okay. Do you prefer to,
If you have a question, I'm sure you could probably text her. And she'll respond.
I did not,
You did
no,
not?
that was the first time I saw it at 4:30. Well, it's after 4:30. So, and she didn't come to review it with me. So I think we will take no action on it at this point.
Would be my thought.
Unless we could get her in the meeting. I'm gonna text her right now. If I don't hear back from her, I'll give her a call. Can we come back to this? Make a motion to
Yeah.
move on to, does it have to be a motion? We can just move on, right? Robert's rules.
I think you might have to, we might need a motion to
Okay.
move it to other business.
Move it to after other
Yeah,
business.
or something.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we delay discussion on agenda item 8, fiscal year end budget transfers until after other business pending the finance director coming into the meeting. Second motion. Motion and second. Any discussion on that topic? Okay, all in favor of moving agenda item 8 till after other business, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Agenda item 9, resignation, Christine Chattel, Fire Advisory Committee Chair. It is with great regret that we received her resignation. I make a motion that we accept her resignation as Fire Advisory Chair with regret.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor of accepting the resignation of Christine Chattel with regret, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. All right, school solar project. Building committee brought back in Connecticut Green Bank, Emily Basham, did I say her name right? Basham, and various members of Connecticut Green Bank to discuss a potential solar project at the school. It is a freestanding project that is on a certain amount of acreage. John Rice can explain in greater detail, but you should have received the slide presentation with the projected cost savings right from the get-go. The nice thing is that Connecticut has opened up solar so that we could do some virtual net metering, but they're advising at this time that we don't move. We start with the smaller project, and we'll be able to expand into the future. But John, do you have anything you'd like to say about this? I know Brian Santos.
Let me see if this button's working. Oh. Yeah, okay. No, other than, I assume you have the package from Green Bank, probably on page 14. If you look at the proposed site.
Right.
Okay. And the committee has work to do, Amy, as you know, for attending that meeting. In that we have to get together with wetlands to look at in that area. We have to go through planning and zoning. So there's work, but this is the initial, I know the committee's in favor and moving forward with this, but there's still some homework to be done on this. And if you go on to page 15, they'll give you some minimum savings, basically that the Green Bank is proposing or suggesting or estimating at this time. But I guess the committee feels is that it's after several years of kicking this ball around, we're gonna move forward with it.
And so the average annual savings is about $33,000.
Yes, and you'll notice that the first year's saving is 11. I don't know why the difference of that, but there must be some type of costs involved with that, with the Connecticut Light and Power, et cetera. But the term saving over 20 years will be $672,860. I have questions on it, which will next meeting that we have, I want to find out, and I didn't have a chance to ask that meeting the other night. That question is what happens to the solar system after 20 years. That's to be negotiated, I think, but I would like to have the town own the system after being involved with that for 20 years.
You're talking about the ground mount system.
Right,
My only concern would be that it might be outdated by then. So it won't matter whether we own it, would be my feeling.
well, it's gonna,
For an
It- it
upgrade
may-
by then.
yeah, it may be outdated, but it's still gonna be producing some electricity. Cause those things will last. So rather than having to buy it from Green Bank, I would think I would like to negotiate that with Green Bank, that the town would own that system.
Right.
Whether it's outdated and not useful, and I think probably if that came to be, the structure would be there, and it would be a matter of upgrading the panels on that structure. I mean,
So, but
this is
the
really
biggest thing-
preliminary at this time, so there's a
right,
lot of
the
things.
biggest reason we're bringing it up to the Board of Selectmen, John, is just so that we're aware of it. We
Right,
know that the building committee is actively pursuing this as an option, as a viable option. And maybe Suzanne and Ken, or whoever's in these seats, can attend the next building committee meeting.
right. Yeah, and as you know, that the decision also has to be made by the Board of Ed.
Right. Right.
They're purchasing the electricity.
It is, I mean, it is initially going to benefit the school, but there's the potential to expand the system to produce energy for the other town buildings.
Right.
Do you remember, John, what the hangup was? And I should have asked, what is the hangup with making a bigger system? Is it just the land potentially, that there might not be enough land space for the virtual net metering?
It's gonna be that we'll probably be producing more electricity than the school is gonna use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So then,
and that's.
and we did discuss potentially shooting it down to town hall because we're so close.
Right, that, or if we get into the meter at the library, that'll use up, or the town garage that
Other town
probably
garage.
electricity, so.
But the state has opened up that option for virtual net metering.
But there's a long list to do that.
I
As
know.
was mentioned, you can
Right.
get on that list. I think we're looking to do a sure thing and get this built. And we'll work on the next phase of it at some point.
Because it needs approval.
Right,
No matter what, it needs approval from the state, correct?
right.
Sorry, everybody, the battery's running low on the laptop.
John, you need approval from, well, we got to do inlands, wetlands, and et cetera, for those approvals as well.
And the Board of Ed can, that'll have to go through
The Board
that.
of Ed would be the one purchasing the electricity, and that's through their budget. I would have to think that, and I would encourage that putting the solar array on the town property, that like we do any other capital project, that would be brought to the townspeople, because who's ever sitting here today ain't gonna be here in 20 years. I don't know if you can reach here,
Oh, is there one right there?
just come around the other way.
You don't, okay.
Yeah, but you'll gain a little bit more by,
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
you're not sitting around.
Everybody just went up.
All right.
And, John, we had issues with Z-Rex before and behind the meter, that was a discussion with one of the last providers, and those had expired. The state reopened it up for the net metering?
Yep.
Yes,
That was always a possibility.
Only within the last 2 weeks. Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. Good. I mean, at this point, I'm in favor of, continuing the process.
That was
Yeah.
part of the building committee's charge, is
Yeah.
that correct, John?
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So we don't need to send it
No.
to them or do anything.
No, not at this point. I think once we progress to getting permission, I think once we have a final plan, as my intention would be to bring it to the selectmen, whomever that may be, and get their go-ahead along with the Board of Ed.
Right.
Before we jump into a 20-year contract with, like Ken just mentioned.
Right.
I sure won't be here, but
You could get lucky, John, you never know.
yeah, not that lucky.
All right.
All right, any other questions on this? Okay, I
Thank
don't
you,
think we
John.
necessarily need to take action, it was just.
No.
No,
No.
I think that's good.
Good
All right.
information.
Yeah.
Great. All right, ambulance service update, discussion and possible action. So we do have Mr. Roger Duran and Merrill Sinay here to discuss the potential. I don't have much of an update as far as the future of ambulance service. Again, it's in the hands of Bob Holdsworth, who's doing the analysis. I expect pretty quick turnaround, but in the meantime, we do still have the topic of the ambulance and equipment and moving forward. So floor is open for thoughts. The purchase and sale agreement was presented and refused.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing that we had when we left the meeting was have a face-to-face with them.
Right.
Shortly thereafter.
They're here. Yeah, sure.
You can?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, Roger Duran, 209 Brickyard Road, in North Bronaville. Yeah, the reason that we did not accept was, of course, there's no guarantee that our department will continue to exist without town funding. And we wanted an assurance that we weren't looking for more than any other department. We're just looking for the same as the other departments will get going forward. That was the only thing that we really are looking for. And if that had been presented, we'd already be done with the deal. We're ready to move forward. But I think, as I mentioned to you, we do have two interested parties that want to buy the ambulances, at least two out of the three. So we don't want to pass up possibility of being able to sell those trucks. We will use funds from the sale to shore up our floor, pay off the debt on the newer ambulance, pay off the debt on the power load. I assure you, Susan, we will not divide it up among the members. That's not going to happen. We will use it to service debt the fire department. But we do need to move forward. Can't keep waiting around. We were going to have a meeting last week that fell through the cracks. Some of us feel like we're being stonewalled by the town. We've had two appointments with the building official. He canceled both of them this week already. We're trying to get a third appointment. We need some cooperation.
I was very disappointed that the meeting yesterday, I believe it was canceled with the engineer. That threw me off. I was fully expecting that to go through. So I don't know what happened.
We'll be attempting to establish contact tomorrow morning to see how soon we get it done.
Question, has there been any progress as far as, because I make assumptions and I don't like to make assumptions, has there been any progress as far as some type of design, engineered design that's been developed at this point?
The
or-
shoring of the floor, I signed the contract last week.
Okay.
That design work is underway.
Great.
That was for Tyne Bond to do the design. It was for Tyne Bond to handle the entire bidding process. We felt that would expedite it versus myself going to look for contractors. Tyne Bond will also handle the weekly visits supervision while the construction is underway. We expect to have the design completed in about 6 weeks, and we'll go out there immediately.
So this is not holding up you moving forward with your construction, correct?
It is not holding up the design phase. And depending upon what the bids come in at, that's where we could start running into a roadblock of not having enough cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know that you have assets, these assets to sell, so you know that you will have, and ambulances are in demand,
Well, they
so
are
you
very
won't
high
have a
demand,
problem. Yeah,
but as I think I've told you before, my preference, I'm not gonna speak for the whole department. A lot of us feel we want the ambulances to stay in town. My question is, if you're gonna move ahead with consolidation for Putnam, how many ambulances do you need at that?
I think it's a matter of how many can we have, correct?
From what I understand, Putnam can technically only immediately in the fast track acquire one. And that's on the short form, what's called the short form. That's what I've come to understand. But Bob Holdsworth might, his initial analysis is that we would need two. And then, oh, well, if you had one more, then that would be great just as backup. But then there's a long form, so there's a longer process. In the very immediate, Putnam EMS could acquire one almost immediately. Then there's a longer process.
To have
You
more?
must understand, yes, to add more.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So who would actually be
very
purchasing-
complicated.
Who would these ambulances be?
Belong to the town of Thompson.
Okay.
Yes. And they would remain in the name of the town of Thompson. So,
Okay,
um,
so, I mean, that's where we're at the moment.
I guess the hangup on our end is just that when it comes to budget season, there is no line item that, it's not up to the Board of Selectmen. We could potentially guarantee, yeah, we're always fair about what we present to the Board of Finance, and then it's in the hands of the Board of Finance.
I understand we're not looking for a set amount. We're just
I know you
looking.
want a guarantee, but there are no guarantees
No,
when
no,
it comes to the
we're-
budget.
We don't want to be singled out as the department that doesn't get funded. That's our concern. Because we feel there's been we're not comfortable with this whole situation. We feel that there's a lot of personal feelings involved in this whole thing. We just want to make sure that we're treated fairly. If you fund all the departments at $10,000, that's all we want. We're not looking for more than anybody else. We just want an equal amount going forward.
There's never been a time when you haven't.
Yeah,
I don't know
actually, and when
why-
you've come to the Board of Finance, I've been very supportive of, and it's sometimes it's not our decision, like we present it to the Board of Finance, but
Well, we understand that. The Board of Finance can cut or they can add.
yeah, and they have.
They have. But we just would like that peace of mind that we will be funded to the same level as the other departments. No dollar amount. Again, everybody gets cut to 10 grand, we get 10 grand.
I don't think we can put that in this contract. Simply because we're not putting a contract like that to the other departments, and then that would be unfair to them. You know what I'm getting at? It's always been where all 5 departments have been funded, and it's never been based on need. It's always been an equal amount. I don't see why that would cease to continue. As long as you're able to provide the service, I don't see where that would change.
Right.
We're elected for 2 years. It's every 2 years, so
Right.
we can't speak for those that go ahead of us. Or after
Come
us,
after
after us,
us.
I'm sorry, come after us.
I understand that. I understand that. I understand you can't put it into the sales agreement, but I would feel better if there was something on record that we will be considered for funding the same as the other departments.
I think that comes under a potential. I've been reading through a lot of historical minutes and things like that and trying to decipher where is a contract between the town and any of the 5 departments.
There is one.
Is there?
It was signed.
It's just a matter
2
of
years-
searching
it
it.
was signed 2 years ago, I believe.
Know what
2
that
or
is?
3 years ago.
That,
Not the emergency service
it's
plan.
emergency services, and it's every 5 years.
Right, well, that one, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's every 5 years.
And that was brought to us, oh God. I think this
So
is the
that has
third
nothing to
one.
do with funding. That's more
I
of
think this
just
is our
a,
third contract.
I haven't seen the contract. I've
Contract to
been-
provide service.
right,
It was-
local
it-
emergency services plan,
Yeah, for R1 and
Right.
ambulance.
but not for the fire departments themselves.
There's nothing that I'm aware of. Yeah. But there is, that was brought up back in the day, I'm going back.
I think from Kirsten, when the Fire Advisory Commission or committee
that
was,
Because
revised.
this is gonna be the third, we just signed the third contract. And they're 5-year intervals, so you're looking at
for the
about
local
12 years ago.
emergency services. Okay,
Which would have been somewhere around 2009, 2010, somewhere around.
Before that, I thought it also included
No,
fire.
it has to do with the EMS because the town is required to have a contract for the R1 and the ambulances for that.
Is that your understanding, Mary?
oh, you come close, so everybody in the virtual, I'm sorry, you can bring a chair if you want.
It's only because of the.
It's
Zoom.
just because of Zoom.
Yeah.
My name is Merrill Sinay Jr., 4 Johnson Street, North Carolina. I have been treasurer for the community fire company until 3 years ago, for 30-something years. And I was fire chief. And my understanding is that the town, I thought it was 10 years, said they would provide emergency services for the town, all 5 fire departments. Okay, and that we would be funded equally, so forth. And I'm pretty sure it is way back, and you could probably look back at minutes from the Thompson Firemen's Association. And that's probably where you would find this going on. And I don't know if that clears up anything, or if you can find something there way back, and as far as that goes, maybe somewhere where it's recorded in town records of what delineates what each fire department covers, the land mass.
Right.
That's what it covers. Maybe back there.
We have that map.
Yeah.
And QV, it has a log of who covers where, right?
But there's some verbiage in there too that explains the whole situation. But one of the things concerning what Roger mentioned as far as we want to make sure that we're funded is that we're in the process of applying for grants, and so forth, and loans. And one of the things that we have to show is that we're going to have the ability to pay. Okay, and if we don't have that ability to pay, then it's probably going to fall back on the town, right? Because if we can't pay, we have to fold, and the town has to take over. And I'm sure you guys don't want to be in that particular situation. One of the other things too, concerning us is the ISO rating, which is the insurance rating that, and one of the things about this area, taking care of the schools and the town hall and all the public buildings that we have and density, is the insurance rates going up. We don't want that. I know I don't want to have to pay more for my homeowner's insurance and so forth because of not having the equipment and the fire station that we need close enough to the density population of the town. You know, we have a tower, okay? Why do we want to have a tower? Because that's one of the things that we said we needed because of our ISO rating. Because where are the biggest buildings in town? In this area, the school and so forth. The old part of the high school was a big thing. And that really affected our insurance rating. That's one of the reasons that our concern is that we're going to be able to continue to provide funding for, and you provide funding for us to be able to operate. And Bob Holsworth is terrific. I've worked with him for 25, 30 years. And if anybody can help you out, he's going to be the guy that can help.
I hope so.
Yeah, we've been
Putting a lot of faith in him.
And another thing too is, you know, rumors out there, which hurts us, is that haven't been doing anything. You know, we've got plans, we've had a number of people come in and give us ideas for plans for building a station or whatever it may be. We even had the University of Connecticut, the architectural department come in and help us out and do some drawings and so forth. You know, and to hear that we haven't done anything over the, and biggest thing is money, right? And for the last few years, there's been no money. Everything was dry. And don't you think we didn't want to have to build something? And as far as this goes, you know, we're doing the best we can to stay afloat. So I don't know what else that you would like to know. We had a question on it about the Lucas tool, and why we kept that was we got $10,000 worth that the fire department paid for. When we first bought it, they didn't have enough money for the ambulance to pay for the first payment, and we paid the first $5,000 of that, and there's still another $5,000 left to pay on it. So that's why we said we would like to keep it. If we would have put it into and included in with that, we would have to get another $10,000. We got to pay off. Still have to pay off $5,000.
We still have $5,000 on it.
Right.
Yeah. Still have to pay $5,000. That's a question on
Do you think that the Lucas tool would be better served within the ambulance service so that it serves all the residents? Or I know you wanted to keep it for your R1 service.
we wanted to keep it for our R1 service, but you know, the number of times that we need it, probably best to get to the people, best in the ambulance.
I would like to see it on the ambulance. I was
I would too.
outvoted on that issue, but personally, I would like to see it in the ambulance.
Staying within Thompson.
Serving the
Yes.
whole town.
Right, right.
Everything is expensive.
It is. And it's, and anybody that's done CPR in the back of an ambulance, and we all have, the tool is a godsend, bouncing around the back of the ambulance, you know, en route to a hospital, and it's very tiring. And,
We go way back, we used to do it back at the Cadillac.
yeah, we did. But you're bouncing around and the machine doesn't move if it's applied correctly.
Yeah.
And it's an advantage.
I've seen it used.
Definite advantage.
Plus, you know, why do we have these people coming out for the woodwork as far as wanting to buy the ambulance? Can't get it.
Can't get them, yeah.
Can't get it. It's just, you know, we've got a call from Auburn, blew up a truck. They need one. Scotland, they blew up a truck. They need one.
Webster wanted one, but I thought it was a gas truck, so they wanted a diesel.
Right.
So, right.
Anyway,
Yeah, that depends on how many calls you're doing with a gas or
Webster's on the
diesel.
road all day long.
Oh, they won't.
Yeah, a lot of transfers.
So anyway,
So I think you know what we're looking for. I mean, I'm not saying we need a written contract, or just like something on record that we will be continuing for the funding as we always have been. However you want to do that. And if we can get that, I think we're ready to move.
Right. And, you know, we would like to see you have the truck and equipment that comes with it, you know, so,
And we all understand that someday there's gonna be consolidation. There's gonna have to be. Nobody has volunteers. Something is gonna have to be done. And if at that point, there's a solid consolidation plan and funding is eliminated, well, I personally can understand that. But as long as there's 5 departments, we just want to be, considered for the funding every year. That's all.
see, the other thing too, is Woodstock may want to come into that group too, you know.
Oh, as far as the ambulance service, potentially.
Because They're all in the same boat. The
Right.
problem is, there is no EMTs available. Okay, period. All right, what are these people doing? They're working Thompson, they're working in Putnam, they're working in Woodstock, they're working in KB, and they're working in Mortlake. It's the same group of people, okay? And the problem is, they're gonna get burnt out. You know, when I started recording the amount of EMTs we had in town, right? And I had to do that every year for your license. And we would have 35 EMTs, 35 in town, people that lived in town. There's one right there. Right? We have maybe 5 or 6 in Quincy. Yeah, and 2 or 3 in Thompson, and same thing, you know, and 35. That was unheard of. We had 35 EMTs, we had about 6 or 7 EMSIs instructors, right? And it's just not there anymore. That's a big problem.
Even back in the day, Merrill, when we were on the 2-year cycle, they figured we'd probably go through a couple times recertifying and then the drop off comes.
Right, right.
And they don't do it again after.
They just made it so hard for the people, volunteers. It's not feasible. Any other questions you want to know about the ambulance?
No, I mean,
At this point, we kind of need to wait for Bob to give us some information and direction, don't we?
Well,
no, I did speak to
Right.
Rob about the potential for ambulances. And he sees potentially needing 2. He'd prefer in the future, his thought is that ambulances should be leased, but we're not there yet. We are gonna need them.
we're in a catch-22 right now.
If it-
No, at least
I-
it's now.
I don't feel like I can guarantee. I think that the guarantee of funds is a different document altogether. I feel this is the purchase and sale agreement. I don't think that the history does not say that you won't be funded the same as the other
Yeah.
departments. There's never been a time where
Yeah.
you have been. And I don't think that that's the case now.
Go through the same
And-
process, you'll bring your budgets forward. we'll-
Right,
Well, I would have to say that amongst the 3 of us, that we can, as 3 selectmen currently, that we have no problem in, you know, going forward and submitting budgets that funds the,
Right.
all 5 fire departments.
Right.
We can't speak for
can't speak for.
future, but I mean, as the 3 of us currently, that we're all in favor of
I think
supporting them.
It's gonna be a problem when whenever that problem comes up.
Integration.
But I-
We're using the integration
of
now.
services.
No,
No,
you
you
said
said consolidation.
We've changed it to integration. Yeah, where you stay separate but one.
I think that was nice, Kenny, just so we can move on.
I mean, I have no problem.
Yeah, it should get a
I have no
Glad you
problem
can
Going on
document.
the record and saying that
I
the
will
current
go on
board is
record
going
as
to.
saying that we will do what's in the best interest of all 5 departments, and that means adequately funding all 5 departments. As far as this agreement is concerned, I would be okay adding $10,000 so that the Lucas chest compression system could move with it.
So, yeah,
I have no problem with that. The Lucas tool is worth on the market right now, 15, and buying one, the 10 is a bargain.
If you were agreeable to that.
So adding that,
Bill and I are,
And I'm sure we'll work.
Well, you'll have to present it to your,
but we can do that. We can call a special meeting, either tomorrow or Thursday, just to keep it moving.
One of the things that we would really want to get is, you know, we have this engineer on Monday.
Yeah.
Right, he was coming and he's gonna be taking and showing.
he was
Showing
gonna
the
look over the
building.
floor and
Right.
map out.
map
And
out
hopefully
and delineate
stamp it.
What it is, so that, you know, it's 42 degrees this morning.
It was actually 37.
Yeah, you've got trucks with water in them.
Right.
and Can't let them free. And, so that's, it's, from what,
Pumps
from
don't
what they're
match
telling us
work.
and what we've seen in the plans, all right, it's gonna be doable that we'll be able to get those
Okay.
2 vehicles going, but we gotta get
Back into the building, signed off by the engineer.
Right.
That's technically all Terry needs, even if the engineer does it without him. If they stamp and seal something, that's all Terry's looking for.
See, the engineer, time bond engineer Dave Sullivan wanted to have the building official come by in case he had any questions, so he doesn't have to come back and
Okay, got
start
it.
pointing at stuff and just, it'd be a quick meeting.
And Terry's been on vacation like a couple weeks in a row, and there was 1 week he was out, and then he was back, and then he was out, so I'm so
When
sorry.
is Terry due back?
He's back, but then he has some appointments. Threw me off.
One thing,
Single
one thing I
copy,
want to
yeah.
mention, somebody might want to check their office phone, because when you call the building official's office, it rings once and it hangs up. It happened to the engineer, it happened to me several times today.
Okay,
So there might be something wrong with
Yeah.
with the phone.
all right, good to know. I'll follow up on that.
But,
Now, you mentioned holding off until Bob Holdsworth chimes in.
I was just throwing that out there
Oh.
because I didn't know if we
Oh.
were in a position
I
to move
just-
forward with.
In talking to Bob, I believe we are, and I would hate to hold.
I don't want to hold them up.
No, I don't want to hold you up either.
Uh,
I just don't want to purchase 3 ambulances if we don't need them. And you can sell them elsewhere, because you might be more.
Sell the animals.
If you want to
Sure.
take, we can hang on for a couple of days if you want to double check with Bob.
You can get in touch with him if you want to, but I spoke with him already.
If you're comfortable, I'm fine with
Why
that
don't-
too.
I
I
mean-
I'm
just,
totally comfortable.
We're at 158, you're adding 10. Why don't we just guarantee that we'll give them the 168 and change? And whether or not we acquire the ambulances or because based on Bob's report, or, we find a way of disposing of them because we don't need them, that they can move forward and get their,
if
floor
you
done.
want, if you want to, we all decide we want to move forward with the purchase of the ambulance for the 168, I'm fine with that. We would need a motion and go through the process. I do have a question before we make a motion. Where are you with the R1?
It's been sent
All
to
the paperwork's in.
Yeah.
The last I knew, it was at.
Handed to Wexler,
Wexler.
hand delivered.
and he can be
And to
slow.
Get Wexler to sign it. Good luck.
Right, but the chiefs are having a meeting on Thursday, if I understand correctly. I think.
I'm not cheap. I'm just an Indian. So I can't say that
Don't
anymore.
worry about it. Right, okay,
And I think at one of our last meetings, you had both given me approval to move forward with the
Yes,
purchase
yes, we
sale.
did.
So,
Oh,
Yeah, to
was that
negotiate
to
it out.
negotiate, then I thought that's what we had kind of done, and then,
Right.
yeah, so, yes,
So
if
good to
that's
know.
if that's where we're at, then sure.
You need an adjusted proposal from me with the Lucas in there?
No,
it'll be
Rewrite
all in
that
here and I'll
It's all
just
on
there,
change,
just
I'll
the
change
dollar
the
amount.
amount and I'll
Okay.
send it your way. All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
that'll move them forward.
Great. All right. Moving on to other business. We are honoring, and you go, please, I don't want to mess up your name. Yurkovicius? Did I say it right? I didn't, how do you say it? Yurkevicius. Yurkevicius. I like that name, Yurkevicius. All right,
Would it be easier? Dad read the proclamation and we just, that way the name is.
Yurkevicius. Did I get
Go
it now?
for it.
Yurkevicius. All right, so we are here to honor you today, Shane Yurkevicius. Right. Whereas we acknowledge that Shane Yurkevicius has achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, and whereas we recognize that Shane Yurkevicius, through perseverance, ability, and good character, has accomplished his goals. And whereas we recognize that the Boy Scouts of America provide guidance and direction in preparing today's youth as tomorrow's leaders. And whereas we extend our sincere wishes that all his future endeavors will be as exciting and rewarding as his success in achieving the Eagle Scout Award. Now therefore, the Board of Selectmen of the Town of Thompson, Connecticut, on behalf of all its residents, extends to Shane Yakevichus congratulations on this extraordinary achievement. In testimony whereof, we hereto set our hands and the seal of the Town of Thompson on this 19th day of October 2021.
Make that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Do I hear a second?
Second, yes.
Okay, all in favor of adopting this proclamation and honoring Shane Yakevichus, say aye.
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 Congratulations.
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 Well, let's all sign this.
What was your major, project was?
Yes.
Yeah.
I created a pre-library book building.
Oh, okay,
Oh, that's awesome.
great. That's the one that they were patterning after to move around town? Is that the, they were doing, remember they were doing
Yes.
one to move around town to
We're gonna-
different
Yeah, like
villages?
one or two, we're gonna move
Yeah.
them around, so it's awesome that we made one and put it there.
That was
Well, they were
permanent.
all permanent, but they were going to set them up in different sections of town and you put
that's
books
right,
in it
that's
and then, you know, it was the honor system and that type of thing. And it was a great project.
That's not an easy feat.
No,
Definitely.
Congratulations.
it's an
Congratulations.
honor that'll go with you throughout your life.
Yeah, it is, it's a commitment.
All right. Any other citizen or any other business? Bring before today.
Other business, we voted to move the.
No, I'm
Fiscal
just
and
wondering
budget.
if there's
no,
anything
no,
else.
I have nothing
It was
else.
just,
Oh.
this.
I can't make it. Text me questions if needed.
Oh, I'd rather just table it for the
Yeah.
next meeting.
That's fine. No action.
Yeah, so no action on the budget transfers for fiscal year 2021. Moving on to agenda item 13, citizen comments. Any citizen comments at this time? Floor is open, both up. John Rice, you have something to say?
Just wanted to congratulate Sean on his Eagle Scout.
Congratulations. He said thank you.
I just have one thing, because I thought of it after. If we can get Terry to coordinate with the
Yes.
fire department and the engineer ASAP,
ASAP, agreed.
put that as a priority, so that way they can.
I'm meeting with him and Donna at 8 tomorrow morning, so I'll make sure I
get that
put a
done.
rush on it. Okay, great. All right, any other citizen comments? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I'm going to move to agenda item 14, tax refunds. I'll make a motion that we refund Honda Lease Trust $181.54. Roy and Earl Norman, $122.25. Zachary Rogers, $67.19. Jillian Shellhammer, $77.86. Toyota Lease Trust, $38.31, and Vault Trust, $393.51, for a total of $880.66. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving these tax refunds, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that motion passes. Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second? Second, all in favor of adjournment? Okay, we adjourn at 7:59 PM. Thanks for attending, everybody. Good night.
Good night and welcome to my club, 1 hour.
The under an hour club.
Go Red Sox.